Salute to the dissidents, the outcasts, the pariahs, who ain't never fit in the box they tried to stuff us in. You found your way back to the abode of Sunmoon, and you know what that means. Sparks fly, mist dies. Today we're going all the way down the Illuminati rabbit hole with a flashlight. Look, the Illuminati, man. Every time I mention it, half my friends lean in like I got the cheat code to the Matrix. The other half just laugh and say, yeah, tell me about your lizard people, brother. But let's get real for a second. In the chapter of the book The Illuminati Papers named Conspiracy Digest Interview Number 1, Robert Anton Wilson plays that straight-faced trickster. He talks Illuminati like he's ordering a sandwich. Sometimes you don't know if he's pulling your leg or pulling back the veil. But don't get it twisted. This ain't some neckbeard Reddit rabbit hole. This is about the realest conspiracy. The one happening in your own head. So picture this. Wilson sitting across from this imaginary cat from Conspiracy Digest. Interviewer throwing him questions like, yo, is the Illuminati real? Are we being manipulated? What's the deal with reality? And Wilson, man, he don't answer straight. He dances like a Mayweather with a vicious jab. Look, the man basically says, yeah, there's a conspiracy, but it's not what you think. It ain't just the Rockefellers or reptilians. It's not some shadowy dude smoking cigars in a castle underground. Nah. The real conspiracy is your beliefs. The way your mind edits the world to match your story. You feel me? Wilson calls it a reality tunnel. And here's how I break that down. Think of reality like a giant Wi-Fi network. We all log in. But your password? That's your trauma, your culture, your hood, your hopes. That's your frequency. Me? I'm on Mystic OG 777. You might be on 9 to 5 Realist No Cap. Same world, different filter. Wilson is telling us you don't see the world as it is. You see it how you've been programmed to see it. And fam, that programming, that's the real Illuminati. It's your teachers, your parents, your TV, your pastor, your algorithm. They ain't evil. They just stuck in their tunnel too. So yeah, you might be looking for who's pulling strings, but what if you holding the puppet in your own hands? Wilson's not trying to scare you. He trying to liberate you. He playing the trickster, like a cosmic Loki in bell bottoms, showing you that once you realize you're inside the matrix, you can stop acting like an NPC. So what do you do with this? First, check your tunnel. Ask yourself, who gave me this map? Does it still work? Second, try on new lenses. Read some wild shit. Go hang with weirdos. Wait, not those type of weirdos. Go touch grass and talk to a tree. Third, laugh. Dead ass. Laugh at the absurdity of it all. Because once you stop taking your tunnel so seriously, you start seeing the light between the cracks. Wilson was sharp. Never just swallowing the conspiracy, but never spitting it out either. He'd say, sure, Illuminati conspiracies are funny, but you ever notice the folks who obsess over these never seem to joke about their own brains? He makes you laugh and then question why you're laughing. When do pyramids of power actually press down on you? And wins it just stories for bored brains closing them. It's unprogramming you. 'Cause once your tunnel opens up, you don't just escape the system. You transcend the game entirely. You know, this reminds me of Coney Island back in the day. I was a kid, eyes wide at the boardwalk, where the OG hustlers spun the shell game. Ball under the cup, now you see it, now you don't. Everybody thinks they're slick, thinks they can beat the game, but the whole setup, that's the trick. The hustle ain't about the ball. It's about making you forget the game was rigged from the start. That's the Illuminati narrative, right? Most folks don't want the truth. They want a story they can play along with. A little danger, a little mystery. Makes them feel alive. But, like my Uncle Ralph used to say, Bridge, if you can't spot the sucker in the room, you it. Where was I? Oh, right. So, before we start seeing triangles everywhere, ask yourself, who's shuffling those cups? And why do we keep reaching for that busted dollar bill? Slide with me from myth to money, fam. Wilson, he doesn't hold back when he gets to the banks. Look, I'm holding the Illuminati Papers right here, and you read this stuff, you can tell Wilson is having a field day. He goes, taxation is robbery, based on monopoly of weapons. Rent is the daughter of taxation. Interest is the son of rent. And money, the grandchild of the same tired Khan, passed down from ancient kings to your neighborhood bodega. Dude connects modern banking and capitalism to ancient street rackets. Like your friend who always borrows $5 and forgets you exist. Only now, dudes in suits running those same games. But the cops are on their payroll, and they got fancy paperwork to make it legal. He calls it robbery by monopoly. Every system, taxes, rent, compound interest, it's all a remix of the oldest trick. Make you depend on them, then move the finish line whenever you get close. Now, real talk, does this mean there's some secret brotherhood huddled up in a castle controlling the world like a Bond villain? Or is that just the story we grew up on, so we don't gotta look at the mess right in front of us? Wilson flips it. He says, look, bankers make the perfect enemy for conspiracy tales, 'cause they run the money. But maybe they're just the grams in a bigger cosmic shell game. Is it anti-elite awareness? Or is it just giving faces and names to your frustration? Like labeling the ref crooked when your team loses. I always tell folks, watch the language. Banker, elite, Illuminati. It's all code for something ain't right, and I need someone to blame. Even on my block, we all had that neighbor who swore the landlord was CIA. And honestly, some days I believed him. But see, I think Wilson's genius is in that little shoulder shrug, like, yeah, those systems are rigged, but does blaming the big bad banker really help you pay this month's rent? The con ain't just out there. It's in how we play the game, too. We want to find the villains so bad, sometimes we forget we're all standing around the same board, waiting our turn, when maybe the house always wins. So now that we tossed up our Illuminati gang signs and shook our fists at the bank, let's get a little weirder. Why do we even do this? Why blame? Wilson hits you with that hot potato. Maybe chasing the Illuminati or them or whoever's behind the curtain is just covering up how powerlessness feels. 'Cause it's easier to shout about secret societies than to admit your life's spinning me round and I got no say. And Wilson, wild man that he is, pulls the Planet of the Apes card. Says we're basically apes throwing bananas at each other, fighting for the juiciest spot on the tree. We just put on nicer clothes and corporate logos. The struggle for power is ancient. It's in the DNA. Just got rebranded from fur and sticks to suits and votes. The city council ain't wearing secret robes. They're wearing stress and chasing paperwork. But it's the same old dance. Us versus them. Monkey politics with better haircuts. Makes you look at your neighbor sideways, don't it? Let me hit you with a memory. Back on the stoop, corner of Nostrand and St. Mark's Ave, summer evening. There's always somebody blaming the city council, the feds, or the landlord for why the rent's too damn high. Half the block grumbled about secret handshakes in government basements. Other half just went, nah, it's all talk. Everybody's hustling, looking for someone to blame. Sometimes we blame the weather. Sometimes we blame Joe from down the hall. That, right there, is Wilson's wisdom in action. Maybe the real shell game is just looking for a story that fits your pain. So as we wrap this up, fam, Illuminati or no Illuminati, power games or personal stories, it's all just ways to map the madness. Next time you catch yourself blaming them, ask, is it just your ape brain looking for a villain? Or is it a sign to step outside the game and find your own center? Don't worry. There's plenty more wild philosophy coming at you next time. Bruva Bridge, signing off. Stay sharp. Stay sucker free.